Creative 2.0 is actually here. We've got a terrain editor, insane tools to manipulate props however we want, actual working animations. We can import all sorts of stuff, make insane visual effects. We can make crazy cinematic sequences and even make things that don't look like Fortnite at all. So buckle in, there's a lot to cover. Okay, first big news is pretty much everyone can be a creator and publish your maps. Now there are some restrictions to that. This right here says who's eligible for this. You have to be at least 18 years old. You have to be able to receive engagement payouts through Epic's Hyper Wallet. There's a couple of other requirements, so you should go and read that at create.fortnite.com. Who is not able to participate is those who are banned, or if there's a restriction where you live. That means maybe I can actually apply. I might be able to get a creator code and earn money for my maps. I'm so excited. Okay, now go into the Epic Store and download the editor. You'll see that it's in your library. Now I have a confession to make. I have been part of the alpha for the last couple of months. Now I've only had a chance to play this for like 10 to 15 hours or so. So I'm not like way ahead of you guys. We're gonna learn all of this together. So let's go in and launch the editor. Okay, so once you're launched, you have this screen right here. You can see old maps and stuff, but honestly guys, you probably just want to start from scratch. So right now you're seeing my project. So anything I've worked on basically in the past. Then you've got island templates, which is what you're used to seeing in Creative 1.0. So for today, I'm just gonna do a blank project. It's gonna create the project. And then here we are. We are now officially in Creative 2.0. This grid island is what we're used to seeing, but when you scroll out, you'll see it's just a lot of nothing. But let me show you how it actually works together with 1.0. Up here, you're gonna see launch session. If you click that, then you're gonna see that Fortnite actually launches up, because UEFN is actually separate from Fortnite. So once it launches, you'll see now, here's my character. I'm playing as Mustard Plays in this same island that is back behind here in Creative 2.0. And I can kind of interchange between the two, from playing in the game to coming back here into the editor and changing things. So even if I drop like a prop into the editor over here, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second, you'll notice in the game that here it is as well. So I'm gonna try and do this like side by side. So you can see here is the game, and over on this side is the Unreal editor. I'm gonna drop in another prop, and then you can see over here that it instantly came in. Isn't that awesome? It works the opposite way too. Like I can come over here and place down a bicycle here, and you'll notice over in UEFN, there's the bicycle. I can still get on the bicycle and drive around. I mean, this works really well back and forth. So I know a lot of you guys have been stressed out that console may not have access to these new tools, which is a real concern, but you can still get on and play with your friends that do have access to it. You can come in here and build with them, and then they can add cool things to the Unreal editor that maybe you can't. So I know that's not great to hear, guys, but we're taking baby steps here with the cool new tools. Okay, so let's just look at the editor here for a second. How everything moves and feels is exactly like the Unreal editor. So if you have any experience with that, you're good to go. Now, the only way you can move around your island is if you hold down your right click, and then you can actually look around your island. You can strafe and move and go forward and backwards. You have to be holding that down to move. Otherwise, you can't move. Now, if you have a scroll wheel right here, you can change the speed of how fast you can move. Right now, I'm moving really slow, and then I'm gonna scroll up and I'm moving like super fast. That is gonna help you a ton in navigating. And then honestly, guys, I don't need to get too much more into the movement here. You're just gonna have to get around and play with it. Okay, now let's talk about objects for a second. You're gonna see in the bottom left your content drawer. This is where basically everything is. So for now, I'm gonna click on Fortnite, and here you're gonna see a list of everything you're used to. You can open props, and you can see all of the prop galleries we have. I'm just gonna click on Princess Castle and check it out. Here's all the Princess Gallery pieces. And if you want to put one on your map, you just drag and drop it onto your map. Now, let me show you something amazing. Say I just want a chair. I can type in the search bar chair, and look at this, guys. All of the chairs show up. Oh my gosh, we've been waiting for this for so long. Now, also in this content drawer are all of the normal creative devices. Like they work the same way. If I want a crash pad, I just drag and drop it in. And once again, in my game, here's the crash pad in my game as well. Here's all of the consumables, all of the weapons. I mean, you can just drop a weapon in. I'm just gonna throw in a basic sword. There we go. And check it out. It automatically places it within a spawner. Once again, even on my game over here, you can see it spawned in with the spawner with, I don't know what that is spinning around. Obviously, there's gonna be some glitches, guys, but it's a lot easier to find things in your content drawer and then just easily place them on your map. So now say you've placed an object. Now, how do you move it? Up here, you're gonna see your different moving options. So this first one is how you move it around. You're gonna see these arrows here. That is how you move it up. This is how you move it to the left and right. And then the green one is how you move it backwards and forwards. Now, this is the rotation movement tool. So I can come out here and I can rotate it however I want, you know, move it up and down. I mean, that's how you rotate everything. It's really nice. And this is how you change the size of it. So check this out. I can make it as wide as I mean, you can go so many directions with this. You can see I can flip the direction. So right now the thumbs down's on the right, but I can go like this. And now his thumbs down down is on the left. And then if I select the middle, I can make it as big as I really want. I mean, that is a massive, massive statue. I mean, look at this in the actual game. It's massive. I mean, I don't know if the hitboxes actually changed with this either. Oh, it did. I mean, you can see in the game that the textures are really fuzzy and a little crazy. I mean, I don't know if it was ever meant to go this huge, but you can see we have a lot more abilities to manipulate things. Okay, now are you guys ready for one of the most exciting updates? Watch this. I can just delete that, but oh no, I didn't want to delete it. I can undo delete elements. So if I hit Control Z, boom, it's back. Oh my gosh, I've wanted an undo button since day one. I just threw down a prefab. This is the Citadel. And what if I had placed this in the wrong position? You can see there's so many different props in this actual prefab. Well, check out this box up here. This is called your outliner. This has everything that's on my map. So like you can see the crash pad. If I click on that, it takes me right to the crash pad. I'm gonna go back to my Citadel main keep and then whoop, there it is. And then I can expand that and you can see every single item that's in this prefab. It's all listed out. Now, if I wanted to easily delete this Citadel, I can just click on that and hit delete and boom, it's gone, the whole thing. But no, I didn't want to do that. Control Z and it's back. The outliner up here is super powerful in being able to delete and control things and find where things are. You can even come in here and look at this. This grid plane is what we're used to walking on. You can just delete it or move it or whatever you want. Like everything is in your outliner. One more basic thing. So below your outliner, you click on a prop, you're going to see a couple different things. There's the details of it. So like if I click on the static mesh component, you'll see the materials, what the mesh actually looks like. This is stuff you'll be able to change. And I'll go into more detail. I can change the materials to like wooden planks and then check it out. Now the material is this really cool wooden plank. Now, let's say you want to change the settings on device. Here's a trigger. Below the details is where all of those settings are. So I can simply go and turn off the VFX and sound effects. Now, if you don't like doing it that way, you can just come into the Creative 1.0 experience and you can still go and change it like we have always done. Okay, basics out of the way. And now let's get into some more advanced stuff. So I've got a new island here, just a basic meadow island. But if you look up here and click selection mode, you'll see landscape. When we click on that, there's a number of things you can see here. We have different kinds of layers. You can sculpt, you can paint, and this is not a huge tutorial. I'm just going to show you a few things. Check it out, guys. We can actually sculpt in Fortnite Creative now. Like we have a true landscaping tool. I can make this stronger and faster. Like I can have taller mountains, and I can literally come in here and do all sorts of things to like smooth it out, make it really looking cool. And then when I look at it in game here, I mean, it looks so awesome. This has all of the new like lighting settings and everything. I mean, how cool is this terrain already? Now, if I don't like the grass in there, I can go into my painting tool and I can select, I want gravel down there, and I can just paint in my gravel that has a more of a rocky look as opposed to the grassy look in the divots. Now you'll notice over here that that has not changed. Occasionally with bigger changes like with mechanics or landscape, you have to push the changes. And this is UEFN working with Creative 1.0 over here. You'll see the edit mode is uploading. It just takes a little while for it to update. Before you know it, your island is updated, and now we've got that gravelly look down here. Now you can see this isn't perfect. I probably would want to touch this up, but it took me seconds to make something completely unique. Okay, the next mode over here is modeling. And guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really know what I'm doing with modeling at all. You can place down these general shapes, and then from what I understand, you can do things to your model here that actually changes it. And I just don't really know anything about this yet. Like there are a ton of things that you can do to these shapes that make it look like this is totally different now. Like here's an example of modeling done right by Don, who's an amazing builder. This was his first attempt at modeling in UEFN in the alpha. You can just see the cool things that we can actually do with this, and you apply some materials to this and it would look so good. Okay, the next mode over here is animation. We can do true animations in Fortnite. Now I can't actually do it. This is way beyond me currently. I'm gonna learn. Let me show you this quick example here. This is from Team Unite, who had access to the alpha as well. Look at this animated Peely up there. He's like scratching his head. This is a color switch map, but look, it chooses blue. Oh, how immersive is that with the animation, the sound, everything together is so cool. Like this is so much better than any other color switch I've seen out there just because it feels like a real game. Okay, now let's talk about importing stuff. I'm just gonna bring out like a wall here, and you can see on this wall that this is the material. So like I said before, I can change this really easily to like a brick wall or just anything I want. So anything I want, So what should I search here? Most popular meme ever. Let's see what it is in the images. The top thing is Bad Luck Brian. All right, here's the OG photo. I'm back in the editor here under my project content. I'm just going to click import this photo right there. You can see now it's in my folder here. All I have to do is drag it and drop it on here. And look, oh my gosh, it's Bad Luck Brian in Fortnite. Oh, I mean, it's kind of perfect. And look, it's just like a normal wall. I mean, it has all the same physics as the wall. You can even beat up Bad Luck Brian here if you want. Curious what this looks like on a more complex prop. I'm gonna put it on this head here. Just see what happens. Here we go. Boom. Oh, what? This might be one of the most terrifying things I've seen in my entire life. You saw it here first, the first UEFN horror map. All right, let's move on to custom materials. So these are some custom materials. I actually got some of this from my good friend Rhinex, who's an insane builder. But these are actually just spheres that have custom materials on it. You can see down here in my project folders, these materials. If I click on it, you're gonna see this materials graph. And there's all these different nodes that are making this have that glowing effect. Same thing with like this clouds one. This is what the nodes for this look like. I'm not gonna get too much into how to do this yet. This will take like 5 videos to like really explain materials. So you can do all sorts of crazy things in these. Like in this one, you can see part of the chapter 1 island in it, and you can apply these materials to anything. Like I've got an old terrain piece here, and I'm just gonna put on the new material that we made here. And like, look at that. That is so crazy. Like there is so much you can do with materials. Like I can't wait to really dive into it. Now let's talk about VFX. So if you right click down here in your project file, you're gonna see the Niagara system. What we're gonna do is create an empty system. Then in here, we're gonna click E, and you're gonna see a bunch of effects. So I'm just gonna put one in here. You can see this is what my effects does on the side. So now I can pull in my effect, and you can see this little effect that we created. I mean, it's kind of silly looking, but this system makes it so you can build whatever you want. This is a fireworks show that Rhinex made with this VFX system. Like, look here at the end. This looks like real fireworks. This isn't like the fireworks you just have as a default in creative mode. Possibilities with this system are endless. Now let's talk about custom sounds. So in your devices, you're gonna see an audio player, but over here, you're gonna see the different settings it has. It doesn't have a ton right now. I'm hoping they improve it soon, but if you click on audio here, you're gonna see all of the different sounds you can use. So you can use whatever sounds you want by importing it the same way we did with that image. I imported this scream effect to be a custom sound that we're gonna use. And then in the sound device, I just found that file and connected it to this specific sound device. Now check it out when I come up and hit this. The Wilhelm scream. You've heard that scream so many times in Star Wars and other movies. And now you've heard it in Fortnite. Let's talk about Verse for a second. That's the program language for all of this. And I can't talk intelligently about this yet. I haven't even tried to look at it. I'm gonna show you this video made by Dolphin Dom. And this is all pretty much programmed in Verse. Guys, this is a custom Flappy Bird game made in Fortnite. What you're looking at right now is literally Fortnite. I mean, this is so different. Like, I can't believe we're already seeing this kind of stuff in Creative 2.0. This is wild. Now, I want to talk about one more thing, and I need to acknowledge that I've missed so much. And I'm gonna get into more of these other features at some point, but honestly, there's just so much to learn. One of the coolest things in this is the level sequencer. So I just created this new level sequencer. I'm gonna click on it. Now the level sequencer is like an advanced prop mover, but super advanced. Like I'm just gonna do something really silly right now. I'm gonna make this face move around. I want to show you right here. This is kind of like the track that I've just made. I've made it so he gets bigger and turns towards you and moves in your direction. I mean, that is so creepy. And you can do this with any object, and it can be in game, and you can sequence it. I mean, it's crazy. Like I want to show you this sequence that Tiny made, who's part of 3D Lab. She's amazing. But look at this. She made the books come off the shelf. They float over and they kind of move around, and then they come down and kind of create this little spell. I mean, like all of this together, like we've never seen anything of this magnitude before in creative. I mean, it's crazy. And this same system can do even cooler stuff. This is a clip from Richie Tunes where you can control the player's camera beforehand, and like look at that, it zooms into the player right away, and then it takes over the camera and you play your game. Like there is so much you can do here. So how excited are you? What do you want me to dive into in more detail first? Let me know in the comments, and I can't wait to see what you guys do.